What's up, peeps? Welcome to Copper Cactus DIY. I'm Jen, and in today's video, I'm giving the quickest of refreshes to a chair. Plus, I'm painting the fabric seat, and I'm using a color drenching trend to do it. And I'm starting right now. I used baby wipes to clean the wood parts. These have been in my stash for a long time, and they're starting to dry out. Whether I use these one-time use products or not is now irrelevant. I bought them, which means I'm tossing them whether they dry out or not. Since I spent the money, I figure they might as well at least get put to some good use. I am much more apt to use a rag and water most of the time otherwise, but these work for when a piece just needs a quick dust and scrub without using soap. With the wood clean, I removed the seat. Only 4 screws hold this in place, and the seat base is a flat piece of plywood that's definitely seen some better days. The fabric is also somewhat old, and I figured if there was ever a time to experiment on a piece, it would be now. That's coming up in a couple of minutes though, so stick with me. First things first, I had to scuff sand all the wood parts. I used a flexible sanding pad and I gave a tooth to the dead flat top coat. That didn't take very long, but let's enjoy that with some high speed and wonderful music.
A cup of coffee in the morning, and I get the paper. I check the headlines and decide that I am bored. I check my email and I decide to answer later. Another cup of coffee and I drag myself to work. My life is grounded in a firm routine of coffee, sleep, and work. I am not boring, I just stick to what I know. I'm sitting there at work and I realized I forgot to wake up. I can't be productive when I'm dreaming about a sheep. I go upstairs and get myself another cup of coffee. I get downstairs and then I spill it on the floor. Well, my life is grounded in a firm routine of coffee, sleep, and work. I am not boring, I just stick to what I know.
I wet a rag and wiped down the dust. Then I custom mixed a navy shade. If you saw my lap tray makeover, then you know the color that I'm going for. I mixed a batch of this deep navy. Have to admit, I'm a bit obsessed with all things beach, as most of you probably know, so this color fits right into that mix. I used the shade Nautical from FAUX Chalk and Carbon Black in a universal tint, and I mixed those, just kind of eyeballing the ratios, until I had about 2 to 2.5 ounces of paint. I want to have just enough for 2 coats. I used a silicone stirrer to mix the tint into the base. I love this thing. It cleans completely and never stains, so I never have to worry about color bleed into my paints or top coats. Using a small round chalk brush, I applied the first coat of this paint. I used a spray bottle to wet the brush and the surface before applying my paint mix. It went on really smooth and it coated great with just the first coat. While I finish up this first coat and finally eliminate this boring gray color, I want to thank all of you who have stuck with me through these years while my channel has evolved. I've done small furniture pieces like this one to huge 9-drawer dressers. I've shared faux wood grain techniques, small transformations, thrift flips, more. Those of you who have enjoyed this ride, I am truly thankful for all of you. I have some changes coming to the channel this year, and I have an announcement that's coming up soon about everything, so be sure you're subscribed now, that way you're not gonna miss it. Thanks peeps, now let's enjoy some music while I finish up this first coat. My battery literally died the second I got right here behind the camera. I just wanted to check in to say this is going to dry for about an hour. The first coat looks pretty solid, but I will check to see if it needs a second coat. If it does, I'm doing that off camera. Painting fabric. This should be fun. Never done it before. Gonna give this a try. I'm gonna just use water. I'll just dump this out of my spray bottle into this container, and some of this Midnight acrylic paint. It's a chalk paint. It's a really dark blue, and that's what I'm looking for. I've watched a few videos on this over time. I don't know exactly how to do it, and I think that's probably okay because we're just gonna see. This fabric has been on here for a long time. I've had this chair forever. It was my grandparents' chair, and so I think it's finally time to do some experimenting. All right, well, let's just mist it. Start with very little paint. I want it very thin of a mix. I'm going to just do thin coats and build it up. I'm going to leave the brush in the bucket so it stays wet and then put a lid on that. I will leave this to dry until it's dry. I got impatient waiting for natural dry time, so I pulled out my hair dryer. Did it again after coat 2. And with 3. And with 4. I did my final coat, 5, and left it to dry naturally overnight. In the morning, I took advantage of the leftover top coat mix from the lap trays, and I used it on all wood surfaces of the chair, everything that was blue. I only did 1 coat of this, then I left it to dry for a few hours. I did want to just point out, I'm not going to seal the seat right now. If it holds up, then I will freshen that up in the spring when I can get out in a workshop with my waxes. This is mainly a staging chair anyway, so it won't see a ton of use. I actually got inspired to do this color drenching trend when my girl Lavon from Statement Designs made over her bathroom a few months ago. I will link to her at the end of this video. You have to go check her out. That video was awesome and super inspirational. Thanks, Lavon. I left this to dry. My last step was to reattach the seat and upholstery to the chair base, and my fast refresh was done. Thanks for being here and watching today. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment letting me know what your favorite beach is. My favorite is probably in Massachusetts or California, but there have been quite a number that are all pretty awesome. I'm talking, let me know if you like the lake, the ocean, or anywhere that you happen to plunk down on like a little plot of sand next to water. Before and after shots are up next, so thanks again. Later, peeps.